Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Tubby and Tiny podcast. Here with BTR Insight.
Yep.
Say, yeah. Okay. So this is the Tubby and Tiny podcast. We've been working on it for a while. This is actually the first episode, so thank you guys for watching. We've been working on this for a while. We're really excited to get this out for you guys. We've been really thinking about a lot of podcast stuff. We've been working on getting equipment. We finally have some pretty high quality microphones, and we got everything set up, and hopefully this will work first take. But yeah, so this podcast is just gonna be kind of just talking about stupid shit we do, because we do so much stuff off stream that you guys never get to see. It's so funny, and we just want to be able to talk with all of it. We're hoping that after the first episode we can literally get like a guest on like every episode, so that we can have more for you guys to hear about. We can get more angles, we can get more stories, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we kind of have a somewhat idea of a plan for the first episode here. And for the first thing we want to talk about, as part of our stories segment of the podcast, is a story that we like to call Milk. Okay. This story, how long ago was this? How many years?
I guess 6. Roughly?
A long time ago, yeah. Very long. This is what was it, like my birthday party or something?
No, I think I just came over to
hang out.
I just came
over. Yeah, that was. And so, how did this go down? You kind of just came in my house. Was this like the first thing I did?
So I entered through your garage, right? So I was like, oh, okay, he's got a nice house and all that. I said hi to his mom. I was talking to him for a little bit. He went and showed me his room is the first thing that he did. I said, oh, that's cool. All this shit. And then we went back downstairs. He was like, let's go get something to eat or something. So as I'm walking down the steps, he just bolted down there before me, because I was looking at something in his room. So he just bolted down there. So
I'm a hungry kid. What can I say?
Yeah, he just bolted. He was like, let's go get some food, and he bolted down the fucking steps. So I was just like, okay. I looked at like a poster or something in his fucking room, and as I was walking down the steps, he's like already down in the kitchen. I fucking hear something. I hear the refrigerator open, I think, or like a cabinet, and I just see him. He turns around, and he was hiding a milk carton. I guess he took the milk, a whole full milk jug. It was full. He just cracked it open, fresh, and he was hiding it behind him. And then he turned around. He fucking looked at me, started smiling, and just fucking started pouring the milk all over the floor. Just started pouring it all over the floor. And he was just looking at me. He was looking at me laughing. And then he, as like half of the gallon's gone, I'm like, damn, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? His fucking mom comes in the room because she heard something like splashing on the floor. And she goes, Dane, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? and he was like, oh, Mom, I'm sorry. I guess I zoned out there for a second. and his mom was just like, Dane, clean this shit up right now, or else your friend is sending his ass home. I was just so nervous, but I was dying at the same time. And he was putting like, there was like a tiny bit of milk left. He was like, let me put this back in. That little crack through the goddamn refrigerator, he was smiling through it as his mom was about to beat his ass. He looked at me and he smiled, and I started dying. It was everywhere. Like it was like flooded milk. It was legit everywhere.
Oh, it just fucking came all over the floor.
It was insane. It was insane.
It was mental. Oh my god, that was so funny. The way you explained it too, it was like, oh my god, I can't explain it any better. It was like listening to Dr. Seuss tell a story, man. It was so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's we do some funny things on this podcast, silly podcast.
Very
All
silly.
right, so we have another really awesome silly story. This one is like this was like a month ago maybe. This was like a very recent one. And yeah, and this actually, if you guys remember Dominic or Lightness from our streams and a lot of our videos too, he actually has a big role in this story. It's a very silly story that we like to call hoorah. And if you guys don't know what hoorah means, it's a little it's kind of a phrase that came from early 1900s during like World War II and World War One and stuff. That was actually encapsulated in a video game called Wolfenstein. If you've ever played it, it's kind of just something you say before you kind of do something a little wacky, a little zany, a little crazy. And this would be said before you take out like a bunch of fucking Nazis with your AK or something like that. But like your discretion, I'm sorry to say it, I did have an AK-47 in school that day. I did not actually have any kind of assault rifle. I actually did something a little bit different to Dominic in this story, and I'm gonna let Lukey explain this one.
So it was just a beautiful normal day at school, right? We were just chilling. We went to lunch. We saw each other. We have lunch, sixth period. We were having a good time. We had a good lunch. We had a few laughs at the lunch table, which will be in another segment. But we were having a good time, right? So lunch ends. Our table gets called to go upstairs where our lockers are, and we're just walking back, And so the first time, actually, we were walking in the hallway to, like, imagine a narrow hallway that we're just walking into because it's very small. There's a shit ton of lockers in it, too. And we're just walking down. And Dom was ahead of us because his fat ass managed to get his ass up the stairs faster than us. So he was just ahead of us. And Dane decides to take it upon himself to run straight at Dominic and just fucking completely collapse him. Like, fucking tackles him, like, almost as hard as he can. He just fucking flies off the goddamn floor.
He flies.
He just fucking slides. It was like ice. He just went fucking boom. And he screamed. It was so funny. He screamed hoorah as loud as he could right before he went. And Dominic like looked behind him a little bit, and when he tackled him, Dominic's neck like fucking snapped back. He was like fucking boom, and it just snapped his neck back as he flew across the goddamn hallway.
Nearly killed his ass.
Yeah, so that happened. He was like, dang, what the fuck? And he was on the floor. He was just on the floor, looking like a retard. And Dane was like, yeah, what's up? That's what you get. That's what you get. Yeah. So Dominic proceeds to just be like, what the fuck was that for? He was a little pissed, but he was laughing at the same time. His face was like a fucking tomato. And he goes to his locker, takes his book bag out because we're getting our book bags to go to the next class. And Dane goes to his locker. And he went to get his locker, and so the hallway went straight, and then you go to a little bit left, and then there's a big hallway down there, and that's where Dane's locker was. So Dane was like, I don't know, like speed walking down because his locker is pretty far, and plus you're not supposed to go that way in the hallway. So he went to his locker, and Dominic was actually, what was he doing? He was like, did he stay behind or did he come with us? Because I remember just you and me.
I think he was still getting his book bag. Getting ready.
Yeah, so actually no. He did get his book bag. Me and you went down, and then Dominic actually he was down there, and then I was like, oh wait, did he get, oh yeah, I think he was still getting his book bag. So Dane gets his book bag. I tell him we're walking back down towards Dom's hallway, and I'm like, dude, hide behind the corner and just fucking ram his ass, fucking hoorah! And as he comes down the other way, and he was hiding, right? And Dominic, he had a feeling that he was going to do something, but he looked around the corner and Dane wasn't there because he went to the other side of this hallway. And then Dominic, he goes, oh, where's Dane? And Dane just fucking appears by the corner of his eye. Fucking hoorah! Boom! Smashes his ass again on the ground. And this time it was fucking way funnier because I swear to God, he's lucky his iPad didn't. He's lucky his iPad didn't break on his fucking book bag because he had the book bag on. And there's a bunch of people walking in the hallway trying to get through, and he just fucking falls on the ground.
There was probably teachers around and shit too, like
staff
and shit. They were probably they didn't say shit. They were fucking terrified.
I know. All they heard was hoorah, and they saw a kid on the floor.
It was fucking World War II then, bro.
Yeah.
Gave his ass a history lesson, bro. Oh my God. And that was what we like to call the stories segment. Now, we have another segment for you guys to enjoy. This is what we think is going to be the funniest segment for you guys, and hopefully when we get more people on, it can get really entertaining and shit. This is what we like to call the lunchtime segment of the podcast. Now, these are still stories and still very funny, but they actually take place during lunchtime, which is when, especially last year, the boys group just got entirely together. Like, everybody was there. Like, some of these stories, like, you know, that last story, Tommy wasn't there. You know, that, like, there sometimes there aren't people there, like Nicholas Hall, for instance.
Yeah.
So not everybody gets to partake in those stories. Not everybody has a little take on that. But during the lunchtime segment, basically everybody's there all the time. There's like 50 different angles on the situation. There's 20 different people laughing. There's so much chaos in this lunchtime segment, and I really hope you guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to kick it off with a story that we like to call April Fools. Now, this was last year during April Fools. It is primarily based around me and BTR Insight and what we did during this April Fool's time. There wasn't that many April Fool's jokes, maybe some chairs being pulled out from under people, but I decided to take it to the next level in a very honestly sadistic and fucked up way. And the victim of which obviously is Luke himself, so I'm gonna let him explain it from the butt end. Take it away.
Okay, so as he said, this is in lunch. We were all sitting at the table. We probably had just got there about 10 minutes. And our lunch table got called up to get food. We got the food. We got all that fucking shitty school food, as some of you may have. But we got our food, and we literally just were sitting down talking. It wasn't that crazy that day. It was pretty chill. It was pretty chill that day, for the most part, until this fucker of hell decides to think in his mind that it's okay to fucking throw orange juice. What did you throw it? Was it at me? I think it was at me.
It was just like it.
Or did you just throw it?
Every time food fights like this with juice cartons and any other fucking thing that you can get your hands on in that cafeteria, anytime one of these things happen, it starts with one throw and then it goes crazy and you never really understand what happened. Like,
oh yeah, it's like a fucking food fight.
Kid fucking filling his backpack up with oranges on the last day of school just fucking pelted us with like 50 oranges. Like, shit gets mental. You don't really know what happens in the end, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, so as he was explaining that, so yeah, he was just, it was just all pretty crazy, and he was just throwing, orange juice cartons, and I think the teacher saw it out of the corner of her eye, but she didn't see who threw it, so she came over to the table, she was like, what are you guys doing over here, I saw that, I saw someone threw that, now who was it? Yeah, and, She came behind Dane, so she's behind. Our lunch table was like 4 or 2 or 3 people on each side. So me and Dane are sitting across from each other, and we actually just she was actually behind him, and she was staring directly at me. No, and we're gonna have other people on the podcast to confirm this. She was just staring directly at me, and she was just saying, "Okay, so which one of you guys did that? Yeah, not okay, not okay. None of you guys want to talk?" And she was just staring at me the whole time, dead in the eyes. Like I was like, "Why are you staring?" I was just sitting there sipping my chocolate milk because I was like, I was tired that day. I was just sipping my chocolate milk. I was tired. And she's just staring at me, being like, "Which one of you guys did that? And even though she said guys, she's staring at me. So we were like,
Staring daggers. Fucking bald eagle, dude.
yeah. So none of us were talking, obviously, and I wasn't because I didn't do shit. I was like, and I'm not gonna snitch. No one's gonna snitch at that table. But
yeah.
We were just sitting there. She's like, "None of you guys want to talk? Okay, next time it happens, 1 week lunch detention. 1 week. 1 week." So I'm like, okay, well, I didn't do shit. I don't know. And I said under my breath as she was walking away, I said, "Well, I didn't. Why are you staring at me?" And she heard that. So she came back. She's like, "Oh, really? Really? You want to talk back? You want to talk back, young man? I'm the adult." Yeah. Yeah. She was like, "I'm the adult. Now let me talk. Let me talk." I was just thinking in my head, this dumb bitch really thinks I'm gonna listen to her.
This dumb bitch. This fucking broad.
So, and I don't even know. I think I was singing a song in my head while she was just talking to me. She was like, "You hearing me? You hearing me?" And the fucking song just stopped playing in my head. I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." So she walks away. We're all just, I was pretty tired. I was just sitting there, fucking pretty tired. And everybody was just talking about, like, how she was just staring at me. And so, again, the fucker from hell decides to do it again. So, this time, I guess she was looking, but I don't think she saw who did it again, but she saw that it was thrown. Like, I forget what he threw. He threw something. It was just chaos, like Dane said. But I don't know what he threw or what he was trying to do. But obviously what he did got me in a bit of a situation. So, yeah, a bit of a pickle, if you may. He threw something, and she comes walking her, like, fucking, she's like pretty, she's probably overweight for her age.
Fat fucking, what's his name? Mall cop.
Yeah. Paul Blart.
Paul Blart fucking walk, like waddling her penguin ass over here.
Yeah.
Blubber fucking shaking, saggy titties.
Yeah, yeah. You could tell those things are sad. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
So again, she's
like
behind Dane.
Down there. Somebody murdered him, deflated him like mountain castles.
Yeah, exactly. So she comes behind Dane again. I don't know why I guess she was on that side, I don't know. But she comes behind Dane. And again, her bald eagle ass fucking stares me right in my soul. And asks me, she was like, "I know that was you. I know that was you. Now come with me. No, come with me. 1 week. 1 week of lunch detention." So I was like, "Well, I didn't do anything. I didn't do it." She was like, "Oh, really?"
Didn't do shit.
Yeah, I was just sitting there. I was like, "I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything." Actually, no. This isn't how it went. No. She was like, "Who did that again?" She was like, "Who did that?" And she was staring at me. I was like, I don't know why, because I wasn't going to let her fucking stare at me again. I was like, "Why are you staring at me? I didn't do anything." She was like, "Did I say you do anything? Did I say you do anything?"
That's the best part. They're always, no matter what, they do something so obvious. It's like she just fucking stabbed you in your elbow, and she's like, "Did I do anything to you? Did I?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are you screaming about your elbow? That could have been fucking Brody Deck, bro. Like, what happened?
Yeah, so she was just like, "Did I say it was you? Did I say it was you?" And I was like, "Well, no, but you're staring directly at me, talking to me." And she's like,
"You
"Well,
insinuated
no."
it.
Yeah. And she's like, "No, I'm talking to all of you. Now, since you want to be a little smarty, you can come with me for 1 week of lunch detention." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't do anything." She's like, "Keep talking. I'll add another week. Keep talking." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm thinking in my head, this fucking big bitch really is gonna give me 1 week of lunch detention for not doing anything. And I picked up my shit, threw it away, and I'm just walking to lunch detention. Halfway across the cafeteria, I see Dane. He fucking smiles. Bye, Lukey. Bye. I was so pissed that day. I swear to God, I was so pissed. It was just, it was so dumb.
Awesome. It was awesome, and I think it was either the next day or it was like at some point during that day. You were so fucking pissed for getting that fucking week. You came over to me and you started pushing me around a little bit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
A security guard
Yeah,
came up
yeah.
and was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Oh, yeah. So, actually, I waited for them because I was like, well, I'm not going to leave them behind. I'm not going to walk to my locker alone. As we told that other story, shit happens. So, I was like, okay, I'll wait for them. And they all came over here. And I was like, Dane, I walked up to her. I was like, what the fuck was that, buddy? What the fuck was... And I started fucking punching him. I was like, what the fuck was that? What the hell was that? And this security guard, was it security guard? I think it was a teacher.
I don't know what it was. It was a staff member, and she was fucking pissed. You are well known among all the staff members as just like this little gremlin. Like none of the fucking teachers like you for no reason. They all just hate you. Like they see fucking tiny BTR insight, done, fucking over, man.
Yeah.
This kid, if I have the capability to get him in trouble, it's happening. Today's the day.
Yeah.
They
So
fucking have a little party dance every time they see you do something they can yell at you for.
yeah, exactly. They're fucking stupid staff members. So, anyways, I was punching him. I was like, "What the fuck was that for?" And I screamed it a little bit loud. I was like, "What the fuck was that for?" And she was behind us. Whoever this lady was, I feel like I've had her as a sub or something, but I don't know. She was a staff member, and she was like, "Boys, what's going on here? Are you serious?
And then my little fucking hell demon ass, I turn around, I look her dead in the eye. You're fucking waiting for me to be like, oh yeah, no, like I kind of deserved that. We were just rough.
Yeah.
I look her dead in the eye in like the most non-threatening, the most shriveled voice I can. He's fucking attacking me! Help me! I need help! He's fucking insane!
So she was just like, she's like, oh, what is going on here? Stop harassing him. Oh my fucking God.
Stop harassment!
Oh, and it was so funny, and he was acting like he was still getting punched, and he was just walking away, and she was fucking believing it. Yeah, and it was so
she
funny.
fell for it, man. Oh man, how much more lunch attention did you get for that, man?
Oh my God, I don't even know. I think I got like another day or something, cause she put in a word with the lunch attention teacher. She was like, yeah, he was harassing and beating up another student. We should write him up, honestly.
Like, I'm literally going to text your mom about this. Oh my God.
It was crazy.
That was another good one. Okay, so we have, once again, just like last segment, we got one final story to conclude this segment. And this one, we're actually naming this after the main character, I suppose, of this story, the victim, if you may, the doctor's victim, and his name, along with the name of this story, is Javian. Now, Javian is this little short individual, even shorter than the tiny BTR himself, and. You can excuse somebody for being short. That's completely fine. Honestly, in all seriousness, being short is a completely fine thing. But the issue is, he's kind of an asshole. Nobody really likes him. He's just kind of a little jerk. He's mean to everybody. He thinks he's better than everybody. He walks up to people. He says he can beat the shit out of them. Luke being one of those people. I don't know if he ever actually full on came up to me and told me he could beat the shit out of me. But, he would push my friends around and stuff, and sometimes I would literally just stand up from my chair, and he'd be like, okay, I'm sitting down. It's time. And so this one time, I thought I'd be, or at least in his eyes, he thought I was being a little bit of a nice guy. I was just being chill. I was being relaxed. And so he walked up to our table, he was talking with us, And from that point, I'm gonna let Luke take it away and explain exactly how this went down.
Okay. Well. So yeah, he was being nice. He walked up to our table, right? And he was like, what are you losers doing over here? What are you losers doing over here?
Yeah, it started with a few arm wrestles too. Like we were,
Oh yeah. So he was like, what are you losers doing over here? I was like, Javian, get your weak ass out of here. And Dom said the same thing. He was like, yeah, Javian, yeah, and everybody started saying, yeah, Javian. He's like, dude, you will not beat me in an arm wrestle, dude. Like, I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. So
you're done, bro. You're done. Like,
yeah.
You cross paths with me, I'll fuck your ass up.
Yeah. So he was like, all right, let's arm wrestle. I was like, okay. So we went to like we I don't know, there wasn't usually someone sitting next to our table, was there? We had like a 7-person table
always.
though.
At one point, Jocelyn was sitting there for a little bit with like a few other of her friends. The weird people. But eventually, especially Dominic, we scared him away. We got them the fuck out of there. We didn't want them.
Yeah.
And before we continue, I would just like to take a sec to note his haircut, man.
Oh God.
It looked like Drake, honestly. It looked like Drake. He had like lightning bolts put in that bitch. He looked like a character out of like fucking Dragon Ball Z or Beyblades, bro. Like, he was messed up. His barber did him wrong.
Oh yeah. Not only did his barber did him wrong, I don't know why his head was built like this. His head was built like a fucking Minecraft character. It was a cube.
Oh my god.
It was just a straight cube. So,
oh my god, bro literally looked like a fucking ice cube, dude.
Exactly. He was
God
fucked.
did him wrong.
He's fucked for the rest of his life, and I hope he realizes that.
Mhm.
So
he's trying to hide it, but no,
yeah,
I'm not going for that.
Trying to hide it with his lightning bolts. But where was I? Oh yeah. So he wanted to arm wrestle us, and yeah, usually there wasn't anyone sitting next to us, but so yeah, we went to the table to the left of our table. I don't have to go into specifics of that, but we went to a table. There was no one out there, and it was close enough for all the guys at the other table to see, and we started arm wrestling, and so yeah, we started arm wrestling, and I'm pretty sure I beat him with my right, but he beat me with his left. When we were doing lefties, because I don't know, I guess he says he's got like a weird wristing in his left. He's a weird kid.
Oh yeah, he's a loser, man.
So
I watches Harry Potter.
Yeah, so we were just arm wrestling. I beat him a couple times, and he was like, dude, you're weak as fuck. In a real fight? You've never been in a real fight. I will literally beat your ass. I will beat your ass. So, and I was like, okay, buddy. So, he was like Dane said, he would just talk shit to everyone. He thought he could beat anyone's ass. And, so yeah, fast forward.
At that point, we just went to sit back down. And he came over, he was still, like, talking shit and everything. He, like, followed us, man. You want to continue?
Yeah. So, yeah, fast forward a couple days, he decided to come over to our table again, and I don't know what losers he was sitting. He was sitting with like 2 losers that had like they brought a Nintendo Switch to lunch. They were like losers, complete losers. And he was sitting with them, and he was just like what did he say? Oh yeah, so he was having an argument with his little other friend, and he was like, Dude, I'll really beat your ass. I'll beat your ass. So they were supposed to fight in a bathroom that day, and the next day after that. Never happened. And then, so, again, fast forward a little bit. This character Javian, happened over a couple of days or a couple of weeks. So fast forward a little bit, a couple of days. We were chilling again at our lunch table, and he decides to come over again. He was like, Luke, just out of the blue. He was like, Luke, I'll beat your ass in the bathroom. How about that? How about that, bud? I'll beat your ass with that. And Dane stood up, and he just walked back to his table. He was like, yo, I didn't mean you. And, yeah, he was just completely afraid of Dane. I'm gonna let Dane explain how afraid Javian was and what Dane did to him, like picked him up and shit. So you can explain that. Go ahead.
So he came back to our table a few times. Like, he's always talking shit. At one point he came back and Dom was just talking, like, he was talking shit as usual, making fun of Luke and shit. And he came over and he was like talking with Dom, and Dom was like, it was getting crazy, and he was like, you know what? And he was terrified of me. Like, he was trying to make fun, and I was like, you know what, Javian, just go sit down. He was like, He was getting a little spooked. And so I'm like, you know what, Javian, you're a cool guy. I actually, you know what? Like, I talk a lot of shit, but I actually respect you. You're a pretty cool guy, out of all the stupid idiots in this fucking lunchroom. You're a pretty cool dude, and I'd like to, sit down and get to know you. Have a seat at our table, pull up a chair. Real quick, let me dab you up. Let me dab you up really quick. And so I reach over the table. He's like, oh yeah, finally. Somebody respects me. Somebody actually likes me. Finally, I'm not going to be treated like the fucking loser I am. And so he reaches out his arm. They come in. He hits my arm. Bam. We're dabbing up. He's like, oh yeah, finally I'm respected. And then the biggest turn of events, I grab his arm. I rip him over the table. Boom! Lands on the table. Fucking shakes the whole thing. Everybody stands up. Dom's face turning red like a tomato, laughing his ass off. Javian is just he's like on the table at this point. I'm gripping him up. He's on the table. Like, he literally looks like the Thanksgiving fucking platter. Like, we're about to eat his ass. He was like a fucking Javian feast over there.
Exactly.
He was fucking laying on that day. He was crying, bro. He was begging for mercy, bro. It was so funny. He went from the top G to the bottom G in 5 fucking seconds by being thrown over the table. It was awesome. For anybody who thinks we're being a total asshole to this guy, if you met him, you would want to do the same thing, man. He is annoying.
Yeah.
With that.
And he's not like unfortunate or anything. He's not like, like a kid that doesn't have shit. Like he's not poor. He's like got shit.
I guarantee his shit ass cut probably costed like $50.
Yeah.
Like, he actually has money. He has money. He has a life. He could actually do things with his life. Like, he's probably better off than me. The only fact is, instead of being an actual cool guy and actually having a decent personality and doing something with his money and with his life and actually achieving something, he just sits there and talks shit. That's all he does with his life. And eventually, at a certain point, it's like, dude, stop. Like, at a certain point, we had to do something about that, and that was the choice. That was the choice we made, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Dom, oh my god, Dom never shuts up about it. Dom talks about. I guarantee it's been said on the stream probably 10 times because of Dom, man.
Oh yeah. Dominic thought that was so funny, and it was, but he just holds on to it.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, with that. Not only is at the end of that story, that is the end of the lunchtime segment. Thank you for viewing the lunchtime segment. That's where I say the pinnacle of this episode would be. But we have one final segment for you guys to enjoy, and this is the segment, for lack of a better word, we're gonna call this celebrities. Now, I don't know about Luke, but I don't know shit about celebrities. I'm not current. I don't know my actors. I just know my favorite actor is Leonardo DiCaprio. Pretty good films that he's made. I like Quentin Tarantino, I know a few big icons. I know fucking Pokimane. I know Jay Schlatt. I know a little bit of my shit.
Yeah.
I know Nicavo Avocado. And that's the only reason I'm not dead, because I'm not dying before his fat ass. Okay, I can talk like that because I am a member of that community. I am an obese fucker. Okay, but today's celebrity is somebody I guarantee you all know. Somebody we've spoken about before. Somebody Luke actually loves. somebody who I have mixed feelings about, somebody who on stream we have an entire stream highlights from our summertime Minecraft series, in which we just spoke about everything there is to know about this guy and how funny he is and the funny stuff he says and the jokes he makes on other podcasts. And this celebrity, as you may have guessed, is Andrew Tate. And I don't know when this podcast is gonna come out, but for us, the most recent event of Andrew Tate was definitely his arrest.
Yes.
He got arrested on. Sadly, he got arrested on account of
Human trafficking.
The second count of human trafficking and actually one count of rape. He said, and if he was actually tried for it, I guarantee they could scale this on top of abuse, domestic, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of questionable stuff that he's done online over the years. A lot of stuff that you can actually go watch our streams. We talk about a lot. A lot of recent stream highlights. But Tate is, man, he's doing a lot of stuff. How do you feel about the more recent events? Luke, how do you?
I mean,
has your opinion been altered? Do you still believe in the Hustlers University way of life? Do you still think you're gonna make it big? Focusing on the legend, the top G himself. How do you feel?
I would love to believe that, and I feel like I still do because he got out actually a couple of hours later. And
I don't think it was only a couple, but yeah, less than
24 hours.
Less than half a day. It took Tate to, I guess, be proved innocent. I don't know if they were just rumors or if they had legitimate hard evidence that he was able to talk himself out of. But I mean, he's probably got good lawyers. He wasn't tried in a court yet or anything. He's probably got them good lawyers. He's got good money. We can all admit that. He's got good money, and he figured out a way to get out, and he's out, and he's back in the free world. He's back on Twitter talking about the Matrix and how they were just controlling you to believe this bullshit.
Yeah. In my I don't know, from what I've read online, it said the charges were dropped. So it said there were no charges.
So if it's a charge, I'm assuming it was just based off of a rumor, somebody went to an officer and just said some bullshit.
Yeah,
he was able to prove him wrong.
Yeah, it's actually this is the second time it happened, and the first time it happened, the women that were there were actually leaving as the cops came, and they admitted that they weren't in any predicament. They weren't tied up. They weren't being assaulted.
They were just fucking around, were they?
Yeah.
Jesus. Say what you want about the big guy. He can get on my nerves a little bit, but Jesus, even if you're the biggest asshole in the world, don't waste federal utilities. Don't waste actual police officers and stuff that could be saving lives right now.
Yeah.
Just because you don't like a guy.
Exactly.
Just because you want to get him in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, and so yeah, the first count that he was brought in that day for questioning, and he wasn't being arrested. The second time he actually got arrested, and there's some pictures on the internet right now of Tate just being completely chill about it. He knew he didn't do shit. You could tell in his face. And that's what I believe. That's what I've read too. That there were no charges, but some people think otherwise. But I think that he didn't do anything. And I'm from a normal person's perspective. In those pictures, he had no fear. It almost looked like he knew that he didn't do shit. And they were.
He knew. I think if you're really that innocent, you'll get out of it. You don't need to show any worry or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, even if I did get arrested for something I didn't do, even if charges were false and stuff, I think I'd still be a little bit scared. But the top G, he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and it when he came out, it didn't look like he was just just had a girl tied up and was raping and assaulting her. It did not look like that. At all.
Yeah.
His face just said it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you for lack of a better description, if you walked in my fucking room and you caught me jacking off, it is not a pretty sight to see. You can tell. You can even if you like came in 5 minutes after it was done. You know, you could still tell this dude was just wanking it, man.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was just at it. Like you can, there are visual cues. You know, you're sweaty. You've just been through quite a bit. You can tell Tate is not in that position at the moment. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess he got out a couple hours later. From what I read, there were no charges. Charges were dropped, and this second account of human trafficking was actually it was actually called on, or it wasn't called. The first one, someone called and was like, "Hey, I think he has girls at his house," and all that. But the second one
false tip
was actually, this is what people thought, and I just found this out today, that people thought that this girl, I forget what her name is, but that she got Andrew Tate arrested because the Romanian police found out that he was in Romania because of a pizza joint there. But
that's what I was gonna talk about. You know, like the whole situation is fucked up. Props to him for handling the situation so well, but it's just so silly that the whole situation was caused by the pizza. I was actually on call with Dom after a stream, and we were just talking about Tate, and we saw the videos of him getting arrested, and we were like blown away. We were like, how did this happen? We actually went on the Twitter video that he originally uploaded that got all the evidence they needed to actually arrest him. And we were watching it, and we saw the pizza, and it was honestly a bit silly to us because he ordered from Joey's Pizza or something, and we were like, that sounds silly, you know, especially him being the fucking Italian he is. He knew that was some pretty shit pizza compared to like the stuff he makes, and he was like, why is the top G ordering from like the bottom barrel pizza? He thought it was just so silly. He probably didn't eat any of it, honestly, but Then we watched an actual article and read some stuff about what actually happened, and we were like, it's because of the pizza box. We just thought that was so funny, you know, like, say what you want about it. Him getting arrested because he decided to order some shitty pizza is like, it's such a silly situation to be in. It's just so funny. Like, he was on the run from the police, I think on actual counts of tax evasion too, from his citizenship in the UK, and he finally got caught all because he wanted to make a video about pizza, and you couldn't have seen it coming, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, so what I found out today was that those pizza boxes that everybody was saying, this girl, I'm pretty sure how it went is this girl just alerted the Romanian police that he was in Romania because of that post, and people were saying like he got under Andrew's skin, which I think he did a little bit, or she did a little bit.
She did.
But
yeah, she was. They were in kind of like a little Twitter quarrel. I mean, I myself have been in some Twitter quarrels before too, and she I forget exactly how it got on the topic, but she was talking about pollution and everything. And you know, Tate was you know, she was talking about pollution, and Tate was like, you know, I could honestly give two fucks. I have like 30 Bugatti Chirons, man. The greenhouse gases that I create, the little fucks I actually give about pollution and this earth, I could give two fucks. And she was like, oh wow, that's really, I forget the actual contents of the tweet, but she was like, oh wow, that's actually so cool. Email me some more information at you got smalldickenergy@gmail.com, and that's what she wrote. And he was like, so he was like, oh, that's a fucking shitty roast, that's not even very good. So he made a whole video about it. He ordered the pizza. He was like, I don't give a fuck about pollution. I'm not doing shit with this pizza. I'm fucking throwing it all away. I don't give a fuck about your stupid little environment shit. Like, I could give two shits. And with that video, she was like, okay, the Romanian police are looking for you. Here's the information you need. This is the local pizza place. Alert the authorities. And that's what she did. And within like a couple of hours, he was under arrest.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what people thought, that she got him arrested, and that's what everybody was saying. And I actually found out earlier today that the Romanian, what is it? Call him. The Romanian, like, chief of police in Romania. I forget what it's called in Romania. But,
I don't remember either.
So he was like, he actually said to a reporter that was trying to get like some confirmation on this case. He said that that girl had nothing to do with how he got arrested, and the pizza had nothing to do.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, the
So there are
pizza.
like articles saying like they just went through their like usual articles and
Yeah.
they
Yes.
found him through other methods.
Yeah. And
Wow.
it was like in quotes. It was he said he was like there was no evidence of that pizza box. He said he laughed actually. He was like he laughed and there was no evidence of anything directly provided from pizza that was in this case.
Oh
So
wow.
she was taking all the credit. She's like, I got Andrew Tate, the misogynistic man, put in jail, and it actually had nothing to do with it.
Okay. Well, I gotta look into that. I gotta learn some more about that. That actually sounds really awesome. But yeah, I think we've heard enough about his most recent events. Let's take a blast to the past and talk about the classic Tate stuff. You know, like for us, I think the most nostalgic part about Tate and the funniest part, that has the biggest effect on us is definitely our big old conversation and the jokes we used to make back in Summertime Minecraft about taking out all the terrorists with the AKs.
Oh yeah.
Take them all out like a fucking G. That I think was the best few quotes that Tate has ever get. Like he's given some inspirational shit, but if you're really looking for some comedy, some good jokes, some relief from Tate, you gotta look into that. Those were like the funniest clips that he's ever made.
Oh yeah.
Man, I forget the exact the exact thing, but he was like just chilling, sitting around, and he was like talking about Call of Duty, and he was like, in Call of Duty, there's you kill this person or you get killed. That's the real world. You kill or you get killed. That's the way you gotta. That's how you survive. And so I watch Best Gore, if you've ever heard of it, which is actually really it's gonna sound fucked when I say it, but I actually used to watch Best Gore quite a bit. Not in a fucked up way, but I mean, sometimes I'd be scrolling through the internet and somebody would be like, "Oh, check out this new Best Gore video. It's so fucked up," and I click on it. I'll watch the fucking Italian mafia behead somebody. Fucked up shit. But yeah, it's actually, it got taken down. I don't even know. I don't really remember why. I don't think it was actually like full on illegal to show that stuff. I think they accessed it through the proper rights and it was completely legal. But I don't know what happened, but it got taken down somehow. But going back to it, he was like, you should watch Best Gore because it actually gives you this mindset where it's not as alien to you. Like you can actually get. I'm done with that voice. You can actually get kind of used to seeing gore, and that the next time you see it, you can actually be more level-headed and
Or on your feet.
Yes, you can deal with it in a more relaxed, more smarter way. And so he's talking about this, and it's actually decent advice. I watched Best Gore. I don't know if exactly for that reason, but I did watch it, and like what? So the kind of idea he gave is instead of saying something like my friend broke his leg or something. I've seen loads of Best Gore. This is nothing to me. Seeing a little bit of blood and a broken leg, I was able to really just focus. Instead of getting all scared and all worried, I was able to just focus on getting him to the hospital, getting him safe and sound, and he's all good. And I saved his life. But instead, what does he say? You explain it best.
Okay.
How did he explain the
He
whole
was
terror?
he was like, if I'm in I forget if he said he was in
Paris, I think.
Yeah, Paris. He was like, if I'm in Paris, sitting under one of those nice umbrellas, sipping my tea, and some guy or some terrorist pull up in a huge tank, and blow off some guy's head right next to me, blood splattered all over me. You think I'm just gonna stand there like a retard? Oh, I don't know what to do.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
like a motherfucker.
standing there like a motherfucker. He was like, no. They're gonna approach me. I'm gonna take one out. Boom, boom, bam. Take the other's AK. Take of all fucking Pakistan like a G. And it,
Fucking G.
like a
They
fucking
got
G.
all the fucking Pakistans like a fucking G.
Oh yeah.
Bam, bam, knock one out. Fucking roundhouse kick one in the fucking face. He drops his AK. Fucking load that bitch back up. Bam, 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 bam. All the fucking Pakistan's like a goddamn G. Like everybody's fucking cheering. Everybody's sitting there like a motherfucker, and I'm just fucking taking out these Pakistans like a G. Don't need no fucking police help or nothing. It was so funny.
Yeah.
That was when we really fell down the rabbit hole. Like we were for like hours. We were streaming just talking about Tate, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was some of our best streams, man. Like those were so funny. I cannot wait for Summertime Minecraft this coming year.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be so fucking fun. Oh yeah. We might bring on a few guests. I don't know, but you know we're gonna especially for our world. We're not gonna bring on any guests to play in our survival world. Definitely not. That's me and Luke creating our castle, getting that shit done. But then when it's high time.
Yeah.
That's when I think we'll totally like bring on, you know, some familiar names. You know, probably bring on Dom, maybe Tommy. Even if you guys have heard of him, Dante. Luke's been streaming with him a little bit. You know, we could bring some of those people on and really have a lot of fun with them. So really, just stay in tune this summer. Exactly when do you think we'll start it? I think straight up when we get out of school. So like.
Wait, start what?
What time would that be? Summertime Minecraft. This
yeah.
How many months is that now?
I think. Oh, it's.
That's actually really soon, honestly. And Summertime Minecraft this season should go on for what? 3 or 4 months of summertime, which will be like, I don't know, hundreds of videos most likely. Hundreds of videos, hundreds of streams this summer, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. So just stay in tune. It's going to be so much fun. And with that, I think that concludes our, you know, speaking about Andrew Tate. I think this was a pretty successful first episode. How do you think?
Oh yeah, I think it was. Had a lot of funny. Yeah. Good.
I hope you guys watched all the way through. If you watched it to this point, it should be about nearly 50 minutes long. If you watched it to this point, congrats. You just basically finished the very first episode of Tubby and Tiny, the world's fucking best podcast. We're gonna dethrone Joe Rogan, or no, Joe Rogan just got dethroned by Markiplier's new podcast. So we're gonna dethrone them. We are going to be the best podcast in the world. Stay tuned. Enjoy. Thank you for listening. We should be getting these podcasts on Spotify sooner or later. But yeah, that should be the end of today's podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We just went over the milk story, hoorah, as we like to call it. And then we went through the very first segment of lunchtime, where we spoke about last year's April Fool's prank and a little somebody called Javian. Then we spoke about Andrew Tate, the classic, the top G, and you guys were here through it all, and we really appreciate you guys for that. Thank you guys for watching. Well, listening, I guess. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next episode.